Hi everyone, it's Molly and I'm here for my week 70 post-op VSG update. And for the first time in like a month, I have actual numbers and I actually recorded them. I've kind of been like, meh, just kind of bouncing around in the mid 190s and wasn't really all that concerned with recording things apparently. But this week I actually recorded my weight, and so the last time I logged my weight was 8/5/14, so a month ago, and I was 192.6 pounds. So after that, I bounced up to about 195 and was right around 195, as I talked about for the past couple of weeks. I've just been kind of chilling around 195. Today, I weighed in at 190.2. which since the last time I recorded my weight a month ago is 2.4 pounds, putting me at a total loss of 169.8. And I'm incredibly disappointed because I actually hopped on the scale a couple of days ago, even though it wasn't Tuesday, and I was 189.8, and I was like super excited that I hit like 170 and got into the 180s, and then this morning on like Tuesday weigh-in day when I was going to make it official since it's a Tuesday, that I'm back up. But you know what? I saw it. It happened, and it's going to happen again. So there's something really exciting, even though I'm not technically down into the 180s like I thought I was, because apparently Tuesday morning hates me. Something really exciting, though, about even being 190.2 is I have just crossed the threshold from being obese to being overweight. And it boggles my mind that that's even a thing. So when I started, my BMI was a 57.4. I should have looked that up. I believe it was a 57.4, and now it's what, 24.9 or whatever, because it's like 25 is the threshold. So to go from 57 to 24 point whatever, 9, 8. The one thing, though, that worries me is I'm probably going to eat my own words, because I would always say before how I've got a big bone structure and how I could never see being a normal weight. But now I look at it and I'm like, okay, I just hit the threshold of overweight. How much more do I have to go to be normal? And I think it was like a little bit more than 20 pounds. And I look at myself and I'm like, I could lose 20 pounds in my one thigh. I don't know if this is like, okay, maybe not one, maybe both. I could lose 20 pounds in my thighs. I don't know if this is just me looking at myself with a distorted view of what I look at, but I don't really think it is. Like, now I look at myself, I'm like, shit, like, I'm going to eat my own words, and I'm going to be able to be a normal weight. I mean, I have no relation here, but like my mom mentions all the time, I have huge hands. Like, if you just look at my face, like, I have very long, like, my bones, they're big. But apparently I'm going to eat my own words, and I'm going to make it to a normal weight, damn it. Like, new goal, normal weight. So my goals have progressed a lot, especially over the past couple of months. You know, my original goal was 200, or like 199, really, because who doesn't want to see the one? That was my original goal. I hit that and I said, okay, I can do more than that. Let's do 180. Be half of what I originally was. And now, you know, I've got about 10 pounds to go to that. I'm like, even though I haven't already hit that goal, I'm already like looking beyond that. And I'm like, 160, be a normal weight. I could do that. So like 30, that's like 30-ish pounds to get to a normal weight. I can do that. I can see that in my future. It might take forever because apparently like 2.4 pounds in a month. Granted, that wasn't like hardcore, like going for it, but that 30 pounds might be a struggle bus. I mean, even the next to get, right now I'm focusing on the 180, the half of me. That's the next goal. And even that 10 pounds, you know, that might be a struggle bus. But that's the next goal. So yeah, that's the rant about current goals. Anyways, so being overweight, there's something oddly liberating and scary about being quote unquote overweight. Like, I've crossed the threshold. I'm no longer obese. And I know that now that means for the rest of my life, I'm going to have to fight to not be obese again. It's not just like, oh, I'm no longer obese. Done. This is going to be a lifelong struggle. Like I talked about in my video where I showed all my skin, was like, regardless of your age, it's a lifelong struggle with obesity. And it's not just like magically done and over with now that you're no longer obese. So it's like liberating to be not obese anymore, but at the same time, it's scary to think what that means for the rest of my life. It means not seeing that crazy kind of progress like you did way back in the beginning when weight was falling off like crazy, but still having to stay very dedicated and motivated to keep yourself there. And I think that's something for me is going to be difficult because it's not going to be results driven, or at least not weight loss results driven. It's going to have to switch over to being more fitness, which obviously I've got my fitness goals. I want to do triathlons. I want to do a lot more mud runs and, Spartan race and Tough Mudder and all of those. But, cause those are just like the funnest time in the world, just saying. But I think that's going to be a struggle for me, is not seeing that number dropping. Like even now when it's just dropping so ridiculously slow, it's difficult. I'm like, a year ago I was dropping like 13 pounds in a week. I want to drop 13 pounds this week. Like, let's go. And it's just not a thing. So that's kind of a switch that has slowly been happening, but I know that that's definitely going to have to happen once I hit whatever goal ends up being. Since goal 1 has turned into goal 2, and I haven't really even hit goal 2, but I'm already setting my sights on goal 3. But that's that. Being back at school. Let's talk about people talking about your weight. I think that I put myself in a no-win situation when it comes to this, but people will make comments about my weight or my weight loss, and I look at them and I go, I don't even know your last name. I've spoken to you how rarely. You never wanted anything to do with me when I was big, and now you're making comments about how you're proud of me, or you're happy for me, or you're this for me. I'm like, you can't be anything for me. Like, let's all get it through your mind. Like, if you weren't my friend before, you're not now. It's a mental struggle to take compliments from people that you're just really not that close with. Sometimes it's just like, why are you commenting on my weight? Like, is that even socially acceptable? Like, I don't know. Like, obviously I'm on the EMS squad here at school, so I go, check in with police at the start of my shift, and the dispatcher made a comment, and yeah, of course I see the dispatchers all the time. I'm in EMS. I see them multiple times a week. But sometimes you're just like, really? Like, who are you in relation to my life? You're the dispatcher I see when I need my radio. Sometimes it's just really hard to get those kinds of compliments. The other thing is making new friends, and you're just like, well, were you here before? Did you know that I existed? Or is this honestly not related to my weight that all of a sudden you're going to talk to me? And it's hard for me to look at new friendships or even old friendships without thinking about how would this be different if it weren't for my weight loss. Obviously socially my role at school has changed a lot because I joined a sorority at the end of last year. We were starting a new sorority on campus. I was part of the founding class. And part of that is a huge social change for me. But then it opens myself up to a whole lot of social interaction that I didn't get before going to a technical school. And a lot of times it leaves me wondering, how would this have been different if I was 170 pounds heavier? So, I don't know. It's a struggle, and I'm rambling. But it's just taking compliments from weird people. Not that the people are weird. It's just like, I feel like you should be close with somebody to comment on their weight. I don't know. Like the one lady in the one office I work at for my work study was like, she keeps making comments. I'm just like, I don't like you. I never have. We've never spoken. Can we stop talking about my weight? Anyways, so there's that. Non-skill victory since coming back to school. Last year I talked about, this is another EMS related thing. Like last year I talked about the stairs between like lower campus and upper campus and how it's like a 3-ish flight. Probably, yeah, we'll go with 3 or a little bit more. Flights of stairs to go from lower to upper. And, you know, I've been in situations before where like I had an EMS call and I was lower and I have to run to upper. And then when I get to upper, it's in a building that, you know, somebody's on the 4th floor and there's not an elevator in that building. So I just went 3 floors up to get to the upper level. And then I went 4 floors up in that building. And by the time I get there, like, first of all, the person's probably either like already being taken care of or just better because, you know, half the calls I get on campus are fake. But point being, there were times that things happened and I couldn't just like bolt myself upstairs. And now it's like I live at the bottom of the hill now and I go up to class and it takes me 5 minutes. I don't huff and puff. It like barely phases me. I took the stairs yesterday 2 at a time all the way up and just completely didn't phase me. And it took me like 5 minutes to get to class where before it would take me like 15 or 20. Blows my mind. And it makes me incredibly happy. And it's those kinds of things that keep me driven. You know, sometimes they don't come as quickly as when you're early out and, you know, everything's changing and you can do this and you can do that you couldn't do before. But it is nice when you still realize, you know, some of those things that you just couldn't do before. And it makes me happy. But I think that's all I got for this week. So moral of the story is weight comes off slower. You got to stay focused for the right reasons. You got to find reasons to stay motivated, and being overweight is fabulous. I'm super happy to not be obese. But it will always, always, always be a struggle. So that being said, have a great week and I'll talk to you all soon.